Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl P, and today I'm drinking a Pepsi. Like, when have y'all ever saw me drink a Pepsi? Coke products. I just am a Coca-Cola girl. Like, I think Coke is so much stronger. It really just like burns the back of your throat, but like in a good way. It just is good. Pepsi is it's like sweeter. Um, By the way, fun fact, if you ever want to trick somebody that likes Pepsi and they all never believe me, but if you ever have like a Pepsi lover friend, get them to your house or wherever, get a can of Coke or a bottle of Coke or whatever, Coca-Cola, pour it in a cup over some ice or whatever, pour some salt in there. No, no, no. Was it salt or sugar? Pour sugar in there. It wasn't salt, sorry. I'm getting confused. It's Coke and sugar. You mix it together, it tastes just like Pepsi. And so I used to work at Whataburger with this one lady. Her name was Misty. And she loved Pepsis. Like every night when we worked overnight together, we're planning out what we eating. We're planning out like everything. If I was with her, oh yeah, we're gonna have our snacks. We're gonna have our, what do we say, goodie powders. She put me on the goodie powders. Um, which was good during the time because that's the time I got. This is a long story, but that's the time I got hit by the garbage truck. I fell out the window. It was just a lot going on at that time. But anyways, she loved Pepsis and she couldn't stand Coke, but we had Coke at Whataburger. So I poured her some Coke and poured some sugar, and then I told her, "Oh, try this," and she really thought it was Pepsi. And then I did it to some more people, but that's just because I really don't like Pepsis. But I bought these because my child likes them, and I didn't feel like going to get a coffee this morning. I don't have a Coke, so this is the best of a bad situation. But shout out to y'all Pepsi lovers. It's not the worst thing in the world. Anyways, I wanted to get on here and talk about all things PSO. Any questions? I was getting some night flirt questions lately, so I figured I'd pop on here and see. And even if y'all are watching this, once it's over, you can still type your questions down in the comment box. But I wanted to go over that stuff. So if y'all had any questions, let me know. Um, where do I even begin? I feel like I don't want to get too repetitive, but we're still, I guess, because new people coming in every day, but we're still, and then some of us are still struggling with like our listings on Night Flirt. So let's go talk about that for a bit. See, on I Want Phone or Sex Panther, you don't have to make listings. No, I said this wrong. You have to make listings on I Want Phone, but you don't have to make them on Sex Panther. But on Night Flirt, I feel like they're just so much more complicated when you're first getting started. At least I was. I was fucking confused. That's why I always get my stories wrong. I always tell y'all Phone Stars was the first PSO company, but it wasn't. I signed up for Night Flirt and couldn't figure out how to use it. So I got on Phone Stars. Uh, okay, guys. Well, this is exciting. One thing that Night Flirt added is a Night Flirt Plus feed, and I'll have to make some videos about that. because it's very new and I want to make sure I got the correct information for you guys. But this seems interesting. Okay, so let's go back to the listings. Not everybody. Okay, here's the thing. I've really been pushing like femdom because I feel like there's a shit ton of cooks and sissies and guys that are into female domination on Night Flirt. Um, but I've noticed that's not everybody's thing. And I don't want to just tell everyone to do that, even though I think there's so many. I think if it's something that you feel like you would be interested in, something that is fun to you, something that you feel like you could do, then do it. But not everybody. I thought, like, for instance, I'll give you an example. My friend was telling me how like small penis humiliation is like challenging for her. And to me, I think it's the most simplest thing in the world. Like the things really are so small. Like it's just fun to laugh at. So I don't understand who wouldn't see like a small penis and bust out laughing or be like, how fucking pathetic is that? Like, that's not even a real man. But I guess all women or people that get into like PSO world can't do those things. So let's talk about some different listings outside of like female domination. And I don't want to like go to sub world, but I'd rather just kind of keep it neutral. So if you don't feel like for instance, when I got into this, I didn't feel like I'm a dom or a sub. I don't even feel like a switch. Like I just am. I don't know. Like I'm not in none of those categories. And so when I got on here, I found a few of the listings I would attract some really fun calls because it didn't make me feel like I had to be like dom or sub. So let's talk about that. First and foremost, I'm always going to talk about the ignore listing. That is the easiest. That is the easiest listing to have. I do feel like in the beginning, if you have zero calls, you do got to get those few guys in that want to do ignore calls, that want to leave good reviews for you or some sort of feedback to let you know how you're doing and to let other guys see how you're doing. That might be a bit challenging at first, but when you start getting those ignore calls, you'll be like, damn, Paisley was right. They are easy. Like, I'm not saying they want to keep you on the phone for hours and hours and you're going to ignore them, but someone just sitting there for 30 minutes occupying your phone and you're getting paid per minute. You really could utilize that 30 minutes to be productive and or to get a task around your house or something done. So when you sit there and you tell these guys, "Oh yeah, like you could sit there because I have more important things to do than sit on the phone and talk to you, but you can sit there and wait patiently like a good boy." You need to utilize that time to do something productive. Um, or you can. You don't have to, but I would. Anyways, next listing would be the role playing one, and I believe it's under fantasy and then role play. So yeah, so when you go to create a listing and you click on fantasy, I clicked on the wrong one. Um, and then you click on role play. I guess you can click on. I already got that one. Choose a really captivating title. I'm gonna go through this one. I didn't really go through the ignore one. I kind of mostly just told you about it. But for those of us that just don't absolutely haven't created a listing before, I'm gonna quickly run through this. But create a captivating title. And when you make your okay, let me help you find the ignore listing. So on I Want Clips, they have an actual thing called ignore listing, but on and then we need to talk about how you can do ignore calls on Sex Panther. But for Night Flirt, you want to create it under the other. So you can click on fantasy and then you can click on other, or you could just click on other. So make your ignore listing in the other category. When you title it, make sure you title it like Miss Paisley ignores pathetic losers or something, but your name or whatever the case is. So that it's clear that it's an ignore line. Also, make sure you say that on your greeting because we do have to realize you do have to realize that not everybody goes to nightflare.com to find you. They listen to the greeting. So if your greeting isn't saying that on it and they call you, you could possibly get bad feedback. And to avoid potential bad feedback, make sure you let them know that it's an ignore line. Plus, you don't want to do false advertising. Like, you want to clearly let these bitches know, like, I'm here to ignore you. I have more important things to do than talk to you. You're so fucking pathetic. What idiot is gonna? You're just such a loser. No one's gonna talk to you. Whatever you want to do, but or it can be like the pussy free ignore hand humping line. So you can sit there and hump your hand and do whatever, but I'm gonna do something else. Um, Make it however you want, but nonetheless, make it under the other. I've gotten 2 ignore phone calls on Sex Panther. Um, I tend to talk about it with them first. They bring it up. It's really no way. You can't make all your phone calls ignore on Sex Panther. You can do like something on the explore page to let people know that if they are interested in ignore calls, message you first or something so you're aware. But since there's no listings, you can't do it. And then on I want phone, I want clips, one and the same. They have an actual, you don't have to put in the other category because they have a listing for ignore. But okay, off ignore phone calls. Back to role playing. Role playing is something that I've said this story before, so I don't want to go into too much detail. But role playing is something that I've been doing for too many years. Um, I think I said this story. I posted it on. I said it a bunch of times on Cam. But if you caught it, you caught it. If you didn't, you didn't. But nonetheless, I used to be on like 321, like teenchat.com and stuff. And it was like roleplay. I didn't even know that that was a thing. But nonetheless, years later, I come into this and I'm just like, wow, I can be like useful and put those practices into use. Um, I hope I'm not just, I hope I'm making sense to you guys and y'all are learning something from it. So I say this is role playing was my number one line on Night Flirts. I had the most calls on there. I find it when someone just tells me, I'm very good at improv. So when someone just tells me like something brief, like I I want you to be the woman next door um, while my wife's at work. Boom. Then I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna run with it and create a whole storyline about this in my head and just act on it. It's it's easy for me just to kind of hop into like different characters and stuff, or if they're like, I like the I want you to be the patient, I'm the doctor, or whatever the case is. It's easy to hop into those roles for me. So if that's something that's easy to you and you want to practice your acting skills, your role playing skills, definitely do that listing. That's like I said, we're talking about. I'm trying to keep this on topic of listings you can create that you don't necessarily have to be like a dom or a sub. Okay. All right. I made a listing. I'm sorry, I have to breathe on this one because my weight just fluctuates. So people have different perspectives of me. But I created a listing in the BBW category, and that was a really good one. So if you are a BBW, utilize that listing. Oh, guys, we gotta go all inclusive here, right? Let's get out of the women and let's go to the men or the trans. Let's see what categories they can do, and then we'll come back to women because I never know who I have listening, and so I get so annoyed because listen up. Women, we have all these different categories. And men and trans, it's just not enough. It's really not. And I feel bad because I wish they had as many as we did. Because I have put on straight males, gay males, trans women, tonight flirt to do good, but I just wish they had more for you guys. So let's see. So under transgender, you only have the I'm gonna say this again, like you only have a few listings, so it's really complicated for you to um put it this way. If you have, I would say if I was a trans, I'm putting myself in it. If I was a trans woman and I had um how do you say it? A voice that sounded extremely feminine, I would probably classify myself as a woman. But then that also goes into the fact that you may never be able to do videos, but you can sell your audios, you can sell pictures and stuff like that, or you could do videos just without showing yourself. But if I don't know, I would consider that because I know women that put themselves in the transgender categories to just utilize that. So you can have up to three characters, three profiles with Night Flirt. So maybe one of those, try that. Um, Anyways, y'all only have cross-dressing, transsexual, transvestite, extra kinky, fetish, and phone with cam. Y'all literally only have one phone with cam listing. Like, this is annoying. I'm just gonna get off of that because it really just irritates me. There is not enough categories. So I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all just gonna have to work with the five you got. My best advice is to put a listing in each one of those categories. If I was trans, that's what I would do. Okay, now let's talk about if I was a man. Mm-mm-mm. Paisley Hayes, the man. Oh, fuck. I was watching this YouTube video, and I gotta get this girl's name because I don't know it. But, anyways, I was watching this YouTube video, and she said that if you know another language, utilize it. That's something that's really unique and special. If you know multiple languages, you're even fucking cooler. But if you do, you make a listing in your language because just connecting with I found it recently because I don't really see too many Creole people. I really don't. And so connecting with someone of your culture is really cool. So like if they're already calling and they're like, I'm never gonna find a girl that speaks this language, but then you happen to have a listing in that language and then get off to this brownie points right there. All right. Now back to if I was a man. So, hold on, I gotta go to the desktop site. Men have a little bit more. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Men have Men Home Alone, Fantasy. Uh-oh. Oh, they got Men Home Alone, Gay, Straight, Bisexual, Fantasy. Why they have more than trans? Okay, they have men, y'all have the other category, so I would definitely utilize that for your ignore. Y'all have the role playing one, so that's pretty cool. Um, I've never scrolled and looked at the men that's on here. One second. By the way, go to Find a Flirts and click on the men. Let's see. Are they cute or are they ugly? Damn, there's some handsome ones on here. I wonder, do ladies call night flirt? If you're a lady that's ever called night flirt to talk to a guy, please hit me up. I wonder what it's like. Okay, long pipe. Alrighty, back to back to looking at them. So men, you could probably follow along to some of the categories I say with the women, but nonetheless, back to categories you don't have to be a dom or sub in. Hmm. Do what you want with the extra kinky category. I personally would stay away from it. Um, I have to say this all the time. Please don't take calls that you feel uncomfortable with. Don't let these guys cross your boundaries. You do not let any of these other PSO sites trick you into like talking about things because it's just acting. Don't do things you're not comfortable with, and don't do it just because you think that's the only way for you to get money. Like if you like, for instance, let's talk about race play. Like it's not my thing. I don't really knock people's fetishes and kinks and stuff. No kink shamer around here. But for those of you that enjoy it, great. I have friends that are like with the Black World New Order, and they're fucking dope. But I feel like there's people, I talk with my hands way too much. I be feeling like there's people that get into this just because um they feel like they have to. They feel like I have to do race play calls in order to make money on the phone sex lines. No, you don't. So do what you want with that. I'm saying get back in my lane. I was saying stay away from extra kinky. You will get, I mean, you'll get some fun ones like the toilet slaves. Toilet slaves are freaking funny to me. I made some of the most money with them. Make sure you're following the terms of service on whatever platform, if especially getting into like toilet slave stuff. But then you get the race play, you get the ones that talk about things that are just morally wrong. And I used to feel like I had to hear this. And what I was noticing, like these things are going to my ear because I'm listening to this, and then I start thinking things that I shouldn't. Like I start just being mad at all men, or just being like changing the way I look at the world. Like PSO has changed the way I look into the world. I used to say like if I ever got out of the relationship with who I was with, it would be a challenge for me to get into a relationship with someone else because you just can't trust everyone. So, nonetheless, just don't feel like you have to take those nasty phone calls. And if you let them know, hey, I'm not really into that. Is there anything else you're into? If they insist to keep talking about or saying whatever they're saying, don't hang up on them. I saw somebody do a PSO video that says, hang up, please do not hang up on your phone calls. I don't give a fuck what they're saying. Do not hang up on them. You can simply put them on mute because why would you hang up on people and that's your money? Like, if you want to say stuff I don't want to hear, I'm going to put you on mute until the call hangs up. But if you want to ramble, that's on you. I'm just not going to deal with it. But don't hang up on them. Don't lose out on money. Don't knock your money. Okay, so we talked about role playing. We talked about other. We talked about BBW. We talked about if you have another language. Um, I can't say that's all of them, but that's all the ones that I want to discuss today. Now, how long have I been talking? About 25 minutes. All right, do you guys have any questions, comments, concerns? Give me a thumbs up. Go over my community board. Support. Declined a dude asked me to do two different slurs. That's a no. And he listened. I like those guys. Like, first off, I'm ethnically ambiguous. I'm not using the hard R. Um, I'm not saying ages that are underage. is okay. 18 is okay, but we're not doing that. It's like I have some heavy nose too, and the guys that fucking listen, they're just like, okay, Paisley, I still just want to talk to you. Those get a pat on the back. Um, but the ones that just want to force you to try to talk about it, go find somebody else that will, because you're not getting that over here. So good for you for sticking up with your. We're gonna spit all over the place. Good for you for standing on your boundaries. Yes, for real. Much love. Yes, there's PSOs that will. hmm But I'm not one of them, and you aren't either. Hmm. Okay, so what else do y'all have? Is anybody on here have any questions? Another topic? I don't want to just keep rambling on about listings. What do you do on your slow days? That is a good question. I hate them. Other flirts suggest I hit up daytime hours. Okay. We'll talk about what we do on our slow days because that's gonna be longer. Second, I'm gonna answer this one first, even though I saw your question first. I'm struggling to find a good time frame. Let's talk about time frames. Woo, some people might get mad, but I'm sorry. I hate to tell you, there is nobody that can tell you what hours are best for you. Not one of them. It's not factual. It's opinion based, and it's what works for them is why they're recommending it. I feel like you need to base what you need to base it on yourself. You need to trial and error until you find it yourself. Because I can't tell you what the best times is. She can't tell you what the best times is for you. You have to figure that out yourself. I will say Tuesdays overall for me have been, let's speak past tense because I'm not going to keep saying this, but have been my most slowest day of the week. That doesn't mean I haven't hit $300-400 on a Tuesday before, but overall, like I can make $0 on a Tuesday. I can make $75 on a Tuesday. I'd be making 150. I'd be like, whoa, I made 150 on a Tuesday. Like Tuesdays are just slow for me. I don't know. So Tuesdays are, if like for instance that was you, Tuesdays might be your content making day or your day you do something else. But Tuesdays overall have been slow. Daytime hours in the PSO world, okay. There's so many things I want to say. I had one lady that did a consultation with me. She made what did I say? About $2,000 in 9 days, a little over 1,900. She made in 9 days. She did that because she left her phone on and saw what hours worked for her. She wanted to see when her clients would call her. I find it that most of the time when I tell people if you're going to work an overnight shift, that's probably the best time to work. I kind of still stand on that. I feel like if you work between the hours of 1 a.m. Central Standard Time, which is 11 p.m. on the West Coast, and 2 a.m. on the East Coast, but 1 a.m. Central Standard Time through about 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, which is 7 a.m. on the West Coast and 10 a.m. on the East Coast, that those hours pop off. They do. They really do. But then again, I know girls that have worked the daytime shift and they love it. They get the guys that are in the office that call them. They find the accountants or CEOs or whatever that just have time to talk and can have flexible schedules to, like, get a note off at their desk or whatever. Um, but you gotta do what's best for you. You gotta do what works for you. Evening, I don't know nobody that makes money in like the late afternoon or evening. And I've been seeing a couple girls like get on Chatterbait at that time. I'm sure there's guys that call, I'm sure there's guys that get online, but evenings have never been good for me. So overnights or morning, cool. But find out what works best for you. And if you're a person that has kids, another job, or whatever, ignore all this. Work when you can. I don't give a fuck what day of the week it is. I don't give a fuck what time. If you're trying to leave your job and get into this, you need to, one, don't quit your job until you know this is going to work for you, because this don't work for everybody. And go on the hours that you can. You got to wait till your kids are asleep, do that. You got to wait till you get off work. You can only do it these days, these 2 hours, do that. Do as much as you can during the time, because I can only imagine me back at Whataburger trying to do this too. Oh, baby, no. Okay, now let's go to slow days. So now last week, I stopped camming on Tuesdays of the PSO because no one comes in, probably with their families in that time. I do a vanilla job, so I'm doing what I can without sleep deprivation. All right. Yes, do what you can. That's why I said if you work a job, don't sit here and listen to me or anybody else telling you what hours work best for us. If Because like me, this is what I do, so I can get on whatever hours that I want. But if I was working back at Whataburger trying to do this, whew, and your kids and this and life and personal and balance, baby. I commend y'all. Like if y'all are working 9 to 5 jobs, like I don't know why people talk down on people having like 9 to 5 jobs. Like don't do that. It, So if you got one, because it's hard out here in this world right now. If you got one, keep your 9 to 5. Do this on the side. Do it what you can with it, and see it might pop off for you. What are we supposed to do on slow days? You just got to keep going. Like, it sucks. I have been on 9, 10 hours and have not made anything. Like 150. Working all those hours straight, like that's really nothing. Um I don't want to be a hypocrite. So for those of you that follow me, most of you know that I do like daily like goals. So I'm not trying to sound like a hypocrite. But I will say this, don't do that. Don't base it on daily goals because every day is going to be different. Average it out at the month. Is this something that or even at the week, if you can't wait till the full month, at every week, average out. Did I make what I needed to make this week? If your goal is to make $700 a week, did I reach that? Have I made the $700 this week? Okay. I made 550. Okay, if I didn't make the 700, how can I work harder so I can recuperate that 150 that I missed the past week? So the next week, make 950. And if you shoot for that, then whoa, I made $1,200 this week. So you just at the end of the month balance it out. And if you needed to make 2,800 by the end of the month, did you make that, or could you just reflect? It sucks. Slow days do suck. Slow days are trying on you mentally. They're trying on your body. They're trying on what the fuck am I doing wasting my time doing this shit for nobody to call me? Ain't nobody coming to my room. I'm not getting no phone calls. I'm not making no sales. Like, what am I supposed to do? You got to keep going. And if you get frustrated, take you a break, grab some good food, get some water, meditate, pray, play a game and come back, watch a TV show and come back. Like, whatever you want to do, just keep going. Don't give up. Don't stop and be like, man, fuck it. Like, for instance, me, Tuesdays are slow, but I'm still about to get to work. I'm on my period, but I'm still about to get to work. Um, I just got a lot coming up, and bills come up every fucking month. Every month you gotta pay rent. Every month is this. Every month, like, so slow days happen. You just gotta keep going. Did that answer the question? I hope so. Dallas, Louisiana, Austin. What sounds the most fun? Um, hey P, hey Tiffany. Speaking of days, how do you cam while on your period? Do you have any tips? Um, hey, don't retract the messages. I'm reading it. Milla, um, tips on going live the first time I'm starting this week. My number one tip: the moment you go live, please utilize the first 2 weeks while you are in new girl status. Don't fuck your new girl status off. That is the best advice I can give somebody their first time camming. Or first time on a platform, first time on Sex Panther. For not Night Flirt, but sites that offer new girl status, please. Y'all. You're only in new girl status, new model status, new creator status for so long. Utilize that. I knew that before I started camming. My first couple weeks of Chatterate were amazing. I was getting so many followers. Like, I feel like I went into that shit prepared. I had Noah Bensey's Secret Life of a Cam Girl. I had the other YouTubes out at the time. I really feel like I went into camming prepared. So utilize new girl status. What else? Be the first 14 days, be on as much as possible. 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon, 3 hours in the evening. Like as much as you can. Don't be shy. Act like you're talking to your friends. Hey guys, welcome to my room. Or however you want to do it, your own personality, but greet everyone that walks in. Hey pizza guy 321, welcome. How are you doing today? Hey Matt, oh my gosh, welcome back. Well, you couldn't do that your first day, but I'll just be like, if I recognize the name, welcome back. Greet everyone. Have conversations. Don't do nothing for free. I had this person tell me one time their plan. And I'm not one to knock anybody's ideas. So if you have an idea for something, I'm never going to make you feel like your idea is stupid or whatever. But I had somebody's idea that I think if I was reading it correctly, they were going to do like free like tit flashes for like the first people that join. But I just don't believe you should give things away for free. Like, don't get on there already naked. Don't get on there shaking your ass the whole time for free. Don't just stop giving away too much. I feel like people who've never been in this industry and my porn star friends, oh, they better not get mad at me, but they give away too much on cam. They do. They do. And I just feel like you shouldn't. You got to make these guys pay for it because they will. So don't give away too much because you're gonna be working too hard. Have you hot tea, water, coffee? Have you some drinks? You need something that you can sip on. Don't eat. I don't want to be a hypocrite, but don't eat. Don't smoke. Don't be on the phone. Don't be watching TV in the background. Pay attention to them. Don't be doing something else. Pay attention to your fans. Encourage privates. Make sure your privates are not priced under 60 tokens a minute. That is standard. Do not go under that. Um, have lighting. Have lighting. I don't give a fuck if you got a lamp and you gotta take the shade off and put it behind your camera, because that's what I used to have to do until you can get you the lighting you need. Have some sort of lighting behind your camera. It makes all the difference, especially if your webcam is shitty. Please don't go on with the shitty webcam. Like, please, at least have a Logitech Brio. It's like 75, $80. Sometimes you get it cheaper on Amazon, but Logitech brand webcams are better. Don't go cheap. Um yeah, I still work. Slow days, I still gotta go. Okay, period. I Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Every time you don't feel like doing shit on your periods, some cramps getting away, your attitude's fucked up, your emotions could be running high. Like, I know how it feels to be a woman. But at the end of the day, if I was working back at Whataburger, I could not call into work because of my period. Like, so I just think, like, what can I do? You can offer topless video chats. Like, for instance, I will go lower my prices on like Sex Panther, right? Or phone with cam on Night Flirt, or privates on cam, lower the token price, or don't, whatever. But I lower my price a little bit and offer, hey, we can't use the full video chats, but I'm offering topless video chats, and do that. Or non-nude for the day. Think of activities you could do that are non-nude that will still get your fan base engaging with you, because I will say this, every day you are not on, someone is taking that money that you could have gotten in your own pockets, period or not. So when I don't feel like and then slow days for me, I can only speak for me because I don't know what y'all situation is. Maybe y'all single moms, maybe y'all single people, maybe you're in a relationship with multiple incomes coming in your household. Who knows? My particular situation, I'm a single mom, I have a child. I can't be like, I can't have slow days. I cannot afford that. So I have to keep going. Some people on their slow days, they can quit. I can't. So you got to base it around your own situation as well. Because who going to pay my bills? Who? I got to pay my bills. I got flu from a goofers that fucks up his bones. I gotta. Oops, sorry, y'all. I gotta go be able to afford all these fucking bones and toys, and then I gotta. I don't know, just life. I gotta be able to afford whatever, food, groceries, all this shit. So I gotta keep going even when it's slow, and I don't be wanting to. It's frustrating. It's hard. It's trying. But can you hold yourself accountable? I can, and you just gotta tell yourself that. Remind yourself why you're doing this. That's a good one. Everyone can do that. Remind on your slow days, remind yourself why the fuck you're even doing this in the first place. And if the reason why you're doing this doesn't make you want to go harder, it might not be for you. Because for me, I could be feeling like shit, be crying, be having my own personal problems. And I'm like, bitch, what the fuck? Like, girl, get back on. Go do something. Get to work. Be productive. Go post some videos you were supposed to have been posted. Lord. Any questions, comments, concerns? Before I get off, I was supposed to get off 20. Oh my gosh. I was supposed to get off like 20 minutes ago, y'all. Thank you. Oh, by the way, if anyone, I'm still doing consultations. I'm not doing discounts on consultations, but I am doing $100 off workshops. Because an older love for yours. Price the photo, goody her. Oh my gosh. Fucking awesome. Okay, can we talk about pricing real quick? Let's talk about pricing. We need to price our stuff how based on what the money that you need to bring home, not what you think the customer can afford. I feel like I know a lot of people that I feel like should be pricing their stuff a little bit higher. And sometimes when we do, we surprise ourselves. So if you're one of those people and you're like, whoa, Paisley, you're telling me to price this video too high, price it at the price you would price it, but find some other stuff that's what you think would be worth pricing it higher because ooh, Jules, having different things on your in your store, your goodies, your clip store at different prices, you'll be able to see like if you really can make sales. Have something priced at $100. Have something priced low. Have something priced however. But honestly, y'all, it's okay. You got to think of what you do. Like me, I'm a solo artist. So if I'm gonna put something with other people, I'm gonna price it maybe higher than people that work with people all the time. Or for my people that also do audio content, price your videos higher. Like if you mostly just done audio content and then you do some videos, please price them high because you will get it. They will pay. If you've never shown your face and you want to sell your face for the first time, like price it high as fuck. Um, I guess Pepsi's cool. Gross when it gets hot. But all right, you guys, I'm gonna go work. I don't want to get to work, but I am. So toodaloo. Hit me up on Instagram. I want Paisley. Peace.